Hey everyone, and welcome to this critical explainer put together exclusively for you, the students at Genesis International College. Today, we're diving straight into a massively important part of your coursework for CPCCPD3036. We are focusing entirely on topic 4, the strict, absolutely non-negotiable procedures for safely cleaning up non-friable asbestos in the painting and decorating industry. So, let's get into it.
Look, as a Genesis student, stepping onto any job site means you're taking on a profound responsibility. Your absolute top priority, above everything else, is safety and compliance. Mastering this cleanup procedure, it isn't just about ticking a box to pass a module. It's a fundamental requirement for your career, your health, and honestly, the well-being of everyone around you.
So why do we take this so incredibly seriously? Well, it all comes down to the hazard itself. We're talking about microscopic asbestos fibers. Because they are completely invisible to the naked eye, you've got to treat every single cleanup as if the hazard is literally everywhere. If you cut corners and don't follow procedures, it is dangerously easy to accidentally release these fibers right into the air.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The asbestos cleanup stakes. 2. Principles of site cleanup. 3. Personal decontamination sequence. 4. Cleaning tools and equipment. And finally, 5. Asbestos waste disposal rules. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the asbestos cleanup stakes. You know, there's a common misconception that asbestos is just a thing of the past. And while yes, it was phased out of the building and construction industry in the 90s and completely banned on December 31st, 2003, it hasn't just magically vanished. It is a persistent hazard. You will absolutely encounter this stuff in older residential and commercial buildings, meaning safe, compliant cleanup is an inevitable part of your everyday career. Moving right along, let's tackle section 2, principles of site cleanup. Now, cleaning up a site isn't just about chucking your gear in the back of the ute and calling it a day. You have to strictly follow site procedures to protect the environment. For instance, you must ensure you never, ever contaminate the stormwater drains when washing your tools. Always stick to the designated cleanup areas. And hey, even though we're dealing with hazardous materials, you should always consider the principles of reduce, reuse, and recycle for your non-contaminated items whenever it's safe to do so. Next up, section 3, personal decontamination sequence. Okay, listen closely to this one because there is absolutely zero room for error here. Decontamination is a strict, step-by-step process. Sequence is literally everything. The whole point of this routine is to completely prevent the spread of asbestos fibers beyond the regulated work area. If you mess up the order, you compromise the entire site. So, let's walk through how this works. Step 1. Keep that personal protective equipment, your PPE, on until all cleaning activities are totally finished. Do not take it off early. Step 2. Handle your respirator with care. If it's a disposable one, it goes straight into the asbestos waste bag. If you reuse it, it needs a thorough final wet wipe. And step 3, the final seal. You must always do a final wet wipe of the outside of your waste bags or plastic sheeting before they ever leave that decontamination area. All right, on to section 4, cleaning tools and equipment. This is a real game changer right here, guys. There is a massive difference between safe and dangerous practices when cleaning up. All surfaces have to be cleaned using damp rags or a specialized HEPA-filtered H-class vacuum. You must never, under any circumstances, use standard household vacuums, brooms, or brushes. Why? Because those standard tools will literally just blast those invisible, microscopic fibers right back into the air, creating a huge inhalation hazard for everyone around. Once you've got everything properly cleaned, you've got to follow the tool handling procedures. Treat all your used damp rags and plastic sheeting like the asbestos waste they are. For the tools you're actually keeping, make sure they're completely clean and dry. Give them a quick once-over for defects before storing them exactly how the manufacturer recommends. If you spot any faults, report them immediately and pull those tools out of service. Finally, we reach section 5, asbestos waste disposal rules. When it's time to pack it up, the rules are incredibly rigid. You aren't just tossing debris into a dumpster. Every single piece of waste, and yes, that includes your used rags and disposable PPE, must be double-bagged or wrapped in heavy-duty plastic sheeting. And we're not talking about cheap plastic. It must have a minimum thickness of 200 micrometers. Once it's wrapped, you seal the whole shebang completely airtight with duct tape. Now I want you to burn this number into your brain. 50. Every single waste package you create has to be clearly labeled asbestos waste. And those letters must be at least 50 millimeters high.
It has to be completely impossible to miss.
For the final leg of the journey, we're talking about jurisdictional law. Asbestos waste disposal is strictly regulated by the Environmental Protection Authorities, the EPA. You absolutely have to transport the waste in a covered, leak-proof vehicle. You can only drop it off at specific landfill sites legally licensed by the EPA to take asbestos. And depending on your region, you'll likely have to track the transport and disposal using specific EPA waste certificates or online tracking systems. It is highly monitored.
So, Genesis students, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final, deeply important question to consider before you step onto your next job site. When you leave a site, are you bringing a microscopic hazard home with you to your family, or is it safely contained? Think about it. If you follow these strict, step-by-step cleanup rules without cutting a single corner, you protect yourself, your loved ones, and the environment. Keep this guide in your back pocket, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you next time.